Hello everyone, it's Breakmaster here, and today I have one of my absolute favorite Star Wars sets to review. This is the LEGO 7754 Home One Mon Calamari Star Cruiser set from 2009. This set comes with 789 pieces, was rated for ages 9 to 14, and cost you about $110 back when it was in stores. Now this set is really neat. I've been wanting to get it for a really long time, but I was putting it off for quite a few years, but I managed to get it this past summer, so I'm really happy that I got it. It's a great set. So, let's look at the box to be the first part of the review. Alright, so here's the box. It is quite large, of course, this is a very large set. And you can see it's a limited edition set. That means it was in stores less than most LEGO sets were. LEGO sets generally are in stores for very short amounts of time. And you can see that it is a 10th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars set. And it was a fan's choice edition. And over here it shows you the minifigures. And of course, it shows you the background of the box, which is really nice. I like how they have the set in the front and how they have Endor, well, the Forest Moon of Endor in the back. So, yeah, it's a very, very nice. Here on the back, it shows you the mini features that come with this set. Yeah, this is jam-packed with a lot of small details and everything that are really nice, and I really appreciate that LEGO put all those details into it. But I'll show you everything once I show you the set. Alright, so these are the instruction booklets. There are two, and the first one comes with a total of 76 pages, including the back, and the other one comes with a total of 47 pages, including the back. So, yeah, a lot of steps of building, a lot of pieces, of course. So, yeah, you'll be busy for quite a while with this set. Alright, so here are the minifigures. You get a nice selection of 6, and many of these minifigures are exclusive or only come in very few other sets. So, right here we have Lando Calrissian. This is the first time I ever managed to get a Lando minifigure, and I'm really, really happy about that, because he is actually quite rare, which I think is kind of strange, because he's in both The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, but nevertheless, I'm very happy to have this minifigure. Right here is Mon Mothma. Another very rare minifigure. I think that this is the only set that has her. And yeah, it's a very nice minifigure. It has the same hairpiece as Anakin Skywalker does, so yeah, it's a very interesting pick. Right here we have General Madine. And although he's only there for a very brief amount of time, I really like how they made him look. I had to actually look up the character because I actually forgot about him. And then I thought, yeah, they did a really good job with him. Here is, of course, the one and only Admiral Ackbar. And yeah, I think this version of him is exclusive to the set. I think there was a magnet version that came with him, but this is the only regular set that comes with him. This is one of the Mon Calamari technicians. And yeah, he'll work on the A-Wing and the hangar bay. And he has the same kind of head mold as Admiral Ackbar. And a very, very nice head mold, to be quite frank. And here is the A-Wing pilot, which has that classic face, except in a flesh color. And he also has some printing on the top of his helmet, which is something I've never seen, I don't think, besides like Spyrus and Unitron sets that would have printing on a helmet like this. Yeah, another nice minifigure. I do have to say, I think the helmets for the new ones are more accurate, but I think this one is really good as well. So, overall, this is a great selection of minifigures, and yeah, I'm really, really happy that I have these. Alright, so here's the A-Wing that comes with the set. Unfortunately, when I applied the stickers, some of the printing came off of the stickers, so that's why there's that white bit. I think it's more pronounced since you're looking at it on a camera with the lighting, but yeah, unfortunately that happened. Over here there are also 2 stickers, one on the other side as well, with the Rebel logo. Your A-Wing is equipped with, whoops, I accidentally broke that, 2 flick-fire missiles, and yeah, what I just did by breaking them does happen because they are very long and they're only attached by this piece here, so that happens basically with every set, so that shouldn't really bother you that much. You can turn these cannons like this, so you can shoot anywhere, above, below, or behind you. Over here you can open up the cockpit of the A-Wing like this, and there's room enough to fit one minifigure, so I'll go ahead and sit my A-Wing pilot inside. So he sits quite comfortably. You do have to make him lie back a little bit, but it's not that bad. This also sometimes happens where the A-Wing's cockpit decides to come off because this piece is kind of very stiff. So I just prefer to push it down and then attach the cockpit on like this, where I just press it on the studs. I find that's a pretty fragile thing. And I think, well, either you're going to use the clips here for hinges on the cockpit piece itself, or you're just going to take it off. I think that's just a much better option. But anyway, yeah, I think it looks quite nice. Over here is a little fueling place where you can, of course, fuel your A-Wing. Back here are the engines. And right here you can actually fold these out. Pull this back so you can actually do repairs on the engine, and that's something that I'll show you more once I show you the hangar. But yeah, you can do repairs on this A-Wing, and this is probably why this A-Wing's my favorite out of all of them. And yeah, I think it's a pretty nice idea that you can actually work on your vehicles. And of course under here it has one piece of landing gear, which I think looks quite nice. You can move it back up, but that's kind of hard to do with one hand, so I'm not going to do it. And also there's that 2x4, well, there's two 2x4 plates, which helps secure it on its stand in the hangar bay. So, yeah, it's a very nice A-Wing. Besides that cockpit problem, I see nothing wrong with it, and I definitely think it's a great set. Alright, so this is the hangar bay for your A-Wing, and I really, really like it. I think it looks great. And I put my Mon Calamari technician right here because he's going to be doing all of the repairs on the A-Wing. Also here there are these little hatches that are here at the bottom, which you can fill with all sorts of equipment, tools, and the like. And there's a ladder to get up to this platform, which is where, of course, this Mon Calamari technician will be working from. So you might be wondering what this whole thing is, but that is to put your A-Wing on so you can do repairs on it. So yeah, just lay it on here, and you could, by moving this gear back and forth and turning it, you can do repairs on this A-Wing from any angle, which I think is a really, really nice idea. So yeah, you can do repairs on anything on this. So I'll just move this back and turn it slightly this way, because right here there's the little place where you'd want to refuel your ship, so you can stick this piece in here. I'll have to move it back and turn it a bit more. But yeah, you can refuel the A-Wing, which I think looks really, really good. And you can see it's attached to this whole setup right here, which is, of course, where you would get your fuel from. And yeah, everything's attached to this clip right here, which I think is a really nice idea. There's also this section right here, which is a crane that's attached to a string. And what you would do is you'd push your A-Wing forward and open these hatches like this. And you would extend, by turning this gear up here, you'd extend this piece down. And what you'll do is you'll attach it to the engine right here. And you'll push your A-Wing forward, but the engine is still here at the back, and of course you can lower it to the ground and then proceed to do repairs on it, which I think is a really nice idea. You could rebuild your A-Wing after it's been shot at a bunch of times during battle, and I think that's a great idea. And I do think the engine, of course, looks really nice. I showed it to you before, but that's why that stud is here, to attach it. As you can see, that's what it looks like, and it can move back and forth, and you can also move this so it can move to the right or to the left if you want. So yeah, that's basically it for the hangar section. Over here is the briefing room, which is where the whole plans to try to destroy the second Death Star. That's where the plans are talked about. And there are these areas where minifigures can sit or talk, so I'll go ahead and put Lando right here, and General Dean right here, and Mon Mothma over here. And here in the middle, there's this sphere piece, which is supposed to represent the Death Star, the second Death Star. And here are these projectors right here, which project, of course, the Death Star. I think this is a really nice area. I think it looks pretty accurate to what is in the movie. Of course, it's scaled down a lot, but otherwise I think it looks really good. There are these stickers here for control panels, which I think you can change, so you can change what is being projected, either the Forest Moon of Endor or the Death Star 2. It only here comes with the Death Star 2, but yeah, it's a very nice briefing room. I think it looks really good. You can set a bunch of minifigures in here, for example, some Endor troopers, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and the rest of the Force for Good. So I think that that's a very nice looking room. However, there is more here at the front. Alright, so here at the front there are 3 seats, and just like with the hangar for the A-Wing, you can pull this and turn this gear so you can make Admiral Ackbar's chair very mobile, and you can move this control panel piece and you can go ahead and sit Admiral Ackbar down in his chair. You'll have to raise his arms up a bit so you can get the control panel under his hands, and yeah, you can swivel his chair around like this. Try and get him in the middle. Yeah, he has a nice headrest as well. So yeah, you can be talking to the people here in the briefing room and then swivel around quickly to see what is going on in space. And that's where, of course, the infamous "it's a trap" quote is made. Here there are these other little control panels, which are most likely for where the Mon Calamari technician would sit, because there's other Mon Calamari people sitting there. So I'll go ahead and put my technician here. And yeah, it's a nice seat. It's not anything as nice as, not nearly as nice as Admiral Ackbar's, so I think that he gets, of course, the special chair. And over here there's this one sticker piece that I think that displays the super laser of the Death Star. I'm not really sure, but yeah, this is what the entire set looks like from this side. So you can move the A-Wing out like this, so you can launch it into space if you wish. So yeah, that's basically it for the set. Alright, so for my overall thoughts on the set, I really, really like it. I think it's one of the best LEGO Star Wars sets, at least one of the best original trilogy sets that has ever been produced. This is the only version of this set, so it's not been made before or made since. So I definitely think that it's worth getting. I think that it has some, of course, one of the most famous scenes from Star Wars and Return of the Jedi takes place there, and fortunately, this set is very reasonable to buy, and I would say I would spend up to maybe $150 maybe for it. I know that's a pretty expensive set, but it really was expensive in stores. But yeah, I really, really like this set. You can recreate some really nice scenes in this, and I would highly, highly recommend you get it. And because of the fair price, I would get it sooner rather than later, because I could see this set spiking in price sometime soon. So yeah, I'd highly recommend this set. You also get an A-Wing, so if you don't have an A-Wing, I would more reason to get it. And you also get some really nice minifigures too. So yeah, that's basically it for this review, and I'll see you all later. Bye.